Hello, I'm Jamie Maciek, Education Consultant for the Wisconsin Valley Library Service. This digital Byte is going to cover how to complete the forms for renewing your public library certification. Let's go ahead and get started. One web page that you will want to have bookmarked or be familiar with is the Public Library Director certification page that covers certification. This is a great resource for questions you might have, and it is where you will find the forms that I'm going to talk about today. Another great resource within the Public Library Director certification webpage has a listing of the continuing education consultants for each system in Wisconsin. This is the person you would first contact if you have questions about public library certification. In this training, I will refer to these people as System CE consultants. There are two forms that I'm going to talk about today. One is the CE, or Continuing Education Activity Report. The other one is the Annual Summation of CE Activities. We're going to start with the CE Activity Report. What is a CE Activity Report? Essentially, it's a document you complete for every continuing education activity or program that count toward your 100 hours for public library certification. This could be a workshop, a webinar, a conference, or a higher education course. This document is evaluated by your System CE consultant. Let's walk through completing the form. At the top, you will complete your name and the mailing address. Then we have the title of the program, and this is the workshop title, the webinar title, the class title, etc. The description is typically what the program is marketed about. What will this be about? Then we have the relationship of program to present position or career advancement. This is where you describe what you learned in this program. What is a goal of yours because of this program? What is something you might try at your library? How did this program influence you as a manager or a leader? Now let's walk through the bottom part. The activity dates is when the program happened. The only time the dates would be different is if it was a multiple day event or a conference. The location is where the event took place. If it's a webinar, I list online. The number of contact hours is how many hours it is worth and if there are any technology credits involved. The provider is who sponsored the event, who coordinated it. And then you will check the category. And most continuing education events by Wisconsin library systems are Category B. If you aren't sure what category, you can check the certification manual or ask your CE consultant. Then you will sign and date the form. Let's say I complete a 1-hour webinar that I also want to count toward my certification. I'm going to complete another sheet like this for that webinar. One thing you might want to check on with your System CE consultant is if your system pre-fills these sheets for programs. At WVLS, I will fill in the key information on programs that we do, and it makes it a lot easier for library directors to complete these forms. Now let's talk about the Annual Summation form. Think of this as an annual summary of everything you did in that calendar year. This form is also checked, signed, and validated by your System CE consultant. Now let's walk through completing this form. I'm going to add my contact information at the top, as well as my public library certification expiration month and year. I list the two titles of the two programs that I attended. Then you list the dates, the category, and the number of contact hours. Your System CE consultant will complete the area where it says Validator Use Only. As a library director, you will leave this area blank. You will notice that the total contact hours populate for you. At the bottom, your System CE consultant will sign and date this sheet where it says Signature of Validator. Notice that the information I listed on the individual activity reports is the same on my annual summation. If these were the only two programs that I attended in 2019, then I'm done. If there are more programs, I add those to my annual summation form. I would also accompany them with an activity report. So if this summation form has 5 programs listed, then I'm going to turn in 5 activity reports as well. Every activity needs to be on this annual summation form. You are going to turn in your annual summation form along with your activity reports to your System CE consultant. At WVLS, that is me. Myself or the CE person for your system will validate the paperwork. Was the paperwork filled out correctly? Does it have the right number of contact hours? Is it in the right category? Your CE consultant might ask you to change something or fix something, and that's perfectly okay. All right, let's say everything is good. Your System CE consultant is going to return all of the paperwork to you. But notice the summation form now has check marks validating your programs, and there is a signature and date at the bottom. When your certification is close to expiring, you need to submit the signed annual summation forms along with your application and fee to be recertified. You do not submit all the activity reports, but you can keep them for your own records. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed this digital bite on the forms you need to renew your public library certification. If you have further questions, you can contact me at WVLS or the CE consultant for your library system. So long.